Ashish Mittal, Founder Director Yugasa Software Labs, with 16 years of extensive industry experience. We specialize in developing custom software solutions around artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, and mobility. My today's topic is around one of the very important questions which generally our prospects ask from us as to what technology stack should they opt for their product. My answer to that is that there is no specific technology for a particular product. It is indeed the selection and the proper mapping of the product and the technology. So there are two important technologies prevailing in the market right now when it comes to developing a mobile app. First one is native applications and second one is hybrid. So native, there are different technologies for native. One is called, in Android it is Java or Kotlin, and a native technology for developing iOS application are Swift or Objective-C. If we talk about the hybrid technology, so there are three major technologies right now existing in the market. One is Ionic, which is Angular based. Second is Xamarin, provided by Microsoft, and third is React Native, which is provided by Facebook. Now, mapping the correct technology as per the project requirement is the actual deal. What does that mean is that if the app has to be scalable in future and requires a lot of functionality in it, then definitely choosing the native platforms, which are Kotlin or Java in Android and Swift and Objective-C in iOS, are the best pick. When you're making an application which is very simple to use and doesn't have too heavy features and are not expected to be scalable in future, then going for the hybrid is the best deal. What are the differences between the two technology stacks when it comes to native versus hybrid? So when we're talking about native, so these apps are better in performance because they are provided by their native platforms. Hence, the communication between the platform and the technology is much quicker as compared to a hybrid app communicating with the platform. First. Second, that these platforms, the native platforms, are in existence in market since long. Henceforth, they are more stable and more of their libraries and open source codes are available readily in the market. Whereas in hybrid, it is not the case. So there can be some instances where you probably find a very simple feature of, say for example, some sort of animation. You expect that to be done in your app also, but if the app is in hybrid and since it is a new platform, so there may not be a ready to use library, open source library for that. So there could be a case that it might require a custom development altogether. And then third is that native technologies are scalable, as I mentioned earlier also, as compared to hybrid apps. So the best examples of developing apps using native are, for example, some social networking app, or maybe on-demand apps like Uber, Ola, or maybe e-commerce apps of high scalability, multi-vendor apps. Now coming to the hybrid apps. So one foremost difference, as I mentioned, that if you're looking for developing an app which does not require to be too much scalable in future, for example, just a city guide directory, or maybe some chatting application. So these applications are not required to be scalable in future, and hybrid apps could be a good pick for this one. Then second is that if your budgets are very small, then developing the app in hybrid is always the best deal. There is a major difference when it comes to development in case of native versus hybrid. So in native, since the technology stacks for Android and iOS are different, so you would require two different developers, an Android developer and iOS developer, for making app for both the platforms. Where in case of hybrid, you would need only one single developer who can develop app for both Android and iOS. Henceforth, the cost comes down and the cost of construction also comes down. The time of construction also comes down. So these are the two important reasons to opt for hybrid. And I hope like this video would give you a better insight as to what technology stack should you pick for your product. So wish you all the best for your new startup, and I'm sure that this video will help you to find out the best one for yourself. Thank you.